the video on eggs. Well, something I want to have a faff around with. So, I bought some eggs, and they're mixed sized eggs. So you get some, you don't get any large ones in it, but you get small ones and you get medium ones. And I was kind of like, well, that's going to be a bit difficult if I'm making a cake, because like how many of these mixed size eggs do you kind of use? Because these are the eggs that I like normally buy, and those are the mixed size ones. So you kind of go, so how many of those is going to equal that? And you kind of what you can weigh it. You can weigh an egg. But I'm making cakes, and then I was reminded the other week that a cake mixture. I always do a cake mixture in ounces because it was the way my mum taught me, and my mum worked in ounces and pounds. And it was 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of sugar, 4 ounces of flour, and 2 eggs. 4, 4, 4, 2. But then I was reminded that it's actually equal quantities of each. So it's 2 eggs, but it's still 4 ounces. So, and then I was just wondering today, did we in the UK are egg sizes graded on the ratios in a cake mixture? So you normally get eggs which are like an average sized egg. Is the average sized egg, is it, oh god, how am I going to put this? How is an average sized egg? Do they judge an average sized egg because you put 1 egg in a 2 ounce mixture of cake? So 2 ounces of flour, 2 ounces of butter, 2 ounces of sugar, and 1 egg. So 1 egg weighs 2 ounces. Possibly. So I was kind of thinking, well, there is a slight difference in egg size and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do a comparison of a 442 recipe, which is this one, and then we're going to do actually weigh the egg recipe because of these different size eggs. So I did it. What I did first was I creamed the butter and the sugar together first, and then added the egg weight to that. Whereas if it would be a better way around to weigh the eggs first, and then because you don't really want to use half an egg. So if these eggs are smaller, so how many did we put in? We put in 7.5. So you wouldn't really want to do that. You'd either want to use 7 eggs or 8 eggs. So you would weigh the eggs first and then do that weight of butter, sugar, and flour. But I didn't want to kind of do that. I didn't want to make like lots of washing up and faff around too much with weighing eggs and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted it to be relatively scientific. So I creamed the butter and the sugar first, and then we've put in half an egg, and we'll use that half egg somewhere else. So it's not a 224 recipe. It's a 12 ounces of butter, 12 ounces of sugar, 12 ounces of flour, and 12 ounces of egg. So there's 12 ounces of egg in there, whereas in this one there's just 6 eggs because they're a different size. There is a slight, I did weigh those eggs in there, and it's about between half and 3/4 of an ounce off 12 ounces. But that might make a difference. So we need to cream this and add some flour. Oh yeah, and I've put in a teaspoon of baking powder as well, because I'm using a cheaper supermarket flour, and sometimes I think it just needs a little bit of oomph given to it by a bit more baking powder. And also I found if I add a little bit more baking powder, you don't get the bone. That's not even a word, is it? The dome. Why don't I want to say bone? I was combining 2 words together there. But you don't get the mound. It'll puff up with the cake, but then it'll flatten down and be flat all the way across. So you don't have to kind of like carve off the. Oh, we've got a fly in the kitchen. Wrong time of year for flies. I must do something about that. So you don't get the dough. So a teaspoon of baking powder just kind of gives it a bit of oomph and helps it level off. So cream that together. Add all the stuff, and then into the oven, and then we'll do a comparison when they're cooked and when they're cold. They're almost done. Oh, that was done. So that was the 6 eggs. just done as well. And that was the 12 ounces of eggs. So they look on off. Look about the same, don't they? They look about the same. We'll let them cool and then we'll cut into them and then we'll kind of see if there's much difference. That seems like there's more in that. That seems like there's more in that. I don't know why. I don't know why. What I have found with cakes in the past, I made a cake using lard instead of butter. Lard is a solid fat, butter is fat, and 20% of it is water. So it's, for 100 grams of butter, there is 80 grams worth of fat and 20 grams worth of butter. So when I made the cake with lard, what I did was I compensated for that water content in the butter. So it would, if I was using 100 grams of butter, I'd use 80 grams worth of lard and then add in 20 grams worth of water, and then you've got that rise. So there is a certain amount of moisture that needs to be in a cake to help it rise. So the lard cake, when I didn't compensate for the water and the butter, didn't rise as much. It's still nice, and it was a little bit greasier as well. A little bit greasier as well. So there is a certain amount of liquid that needs to be in a cake for it to rise. But they look about the same at the moment. That one's looks like it's got slightly more in it, or maybe that's just bowed up in the middle a little bit more. But anyway, we'll see what they're like when they're cool. So let's have a look. So that's the one with the 6 eggs, and this is the one with the 12 ounces of eggs. Doesn't like there's much difference at all, really. So I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really matters. I think the only time that it's if you've just got mixed size eggs, I think you just need to, you can weigh the eggs though, but it's an easy way to remember that it's the same weight of butter, sugar, flour and eggs. Which, I don't know, it didn't blow my mind, but it kind of just made me kind of go, of course. But anyway, interesting little experiment, and we've learnt something new, haven't we?